Hey everyone! Okay, so I'm super excited today because I wanted to share some BL manga that you may or may not know is actually being sold at Barnes & Noble. I'll also be talking about BL manga that I think you should check out if you haven't, or if you've been hesitant to check out. Because in the past, I too have been hesitant about buying a manga from Barnes & Noble without knowing much about it. But I assure you these picks will pique your interests. But like always, let's first start off with an introduction. My name is Ulysses N. Owen for short, and I am a BL author. My novels include I Want You, I Wish, Oh My Gosh They Were Roommates, and the upcoming novel, Westley Academy. They are also at barnesandnoble.com, so go ahead and please check them out if you can. But on to the reviews and recs. I will be displaying if these manga are ongoing, their prices, and also their ratings, if you don't want to read anything with explicit content. Let me know which of these mangas you have at home, that you've bought at Barnes & Noble, and also feel free to recommend even more that aren't listed here. I might make a part 2 because there are so many manga that I will definitely forget to list in this one. So first off, we have one of my absolute favorites, Only the Flower Knows. It is a classic by Takarai Rihito, and it's a lovely story about two college students learning about each other as they overcome difficult obstacles. The summary on BNN reads, one sunny afternoon on the campus of their university, one rainy night at the train station, Arikawa and Misaki's paths crossed, neither one knowing the other's name or anything about him. That was how everything began, though little by little, that distance seems to be closing. This was actually the first ever BL manga that I've ever read back in 2014 when I just graduated high school. I was intrigued by the beautiful cover art and summary, and oh boy, did it make my heart very happy when I read it. Arikawa, one of the main leads, is seriously the most caring partner one could ever ask for. He helped Misaki through so much of his troubles, and is an overall sweetheart. Even after 9 years, this story still gets to me, and admittedly, it makes me cry. So, I highly recommend if you haven't already picked it up at Barnes & Noble. Some other classics by the same author, Takarai Rihito, are her debut manga 7 Days and also the famous 10 Count. 10 Count, although having its sweet moments, does contain a lot of explicit content, like Only the Flower Knows, though at a more extreme level. The BNN summary reads, corporate secretary Shirotani suffers from obsessive-compulsive disorder. One day he meets Kurose, a therapist who offers to take him through a 10-step program to cure him of his compulsion. As the two go through each of the 10 steps, Shirotani's attraction to his counselor grows. It is such a complex story, which is why I think it's garnered such attention. Of course, the art by Takarai-sensei is gorgeous as always, but with a story that focuses on two characters who are helping each other through such difficult tasks, you learn quite a lot about what Shirotani suffers from. And in a way, it makes readers aware of how stories can include people of all backgrounds. Takarai Rihito is an outstanding storyteller, and I am a longtime fan. I highly recommend all of her works. Now, I'm sure you are aware of the manga Given, but if you're not, I also recommend checking it out. But today, I wanted to talk about another manga by Kizu Natsuki, and that is Lynx. I've been such a fan of Kizu Natsuki, and when I spent time in Japan, I couldn't help but wander through Animate stores and just gawk at her doujins and other works. Lynx is a special manga for me because it tells multiple stories in one manga. The official summary reads, a collection of intertwining stories covering 4 not-quite lovers as they find what links them together. By far, my favorite duo in the story is Kameda and Okigawa, mainly because the ending of their story really got to me, and it's one of my favoriteest endings ever, of all time. Just as the title says, the lives of these people are linked, and it's so interesting to see how they overlap with one another. If you like slice of life BL, with some drama, but also lots of love, I really recommend this one. Okay, you guys, so this next one has got to be one of the mangas in my top 10. And I'm not sure if you know that it's at Barnes & Noble. It's called Love Nest by Minaduki Yu. It's actually a spin-off with the side characters of the manga Sayonara game. And you know me, I am a sucker for side characters and spin-offs. The summary reads, a broken-hearted Masato moves into his friend's second home, looking for some peace and quiet. But instead, he finds a man who's very much not his type already occupying the space. Can this messy, ill-tempered intruder help mend his broken heart? I have read every volume of this manga. I even bought the Dear Plus when they were on the cover. I laughed, I cried, and although Masato makes it a point to be a sort of villain in the mangas he's featured in, this one explores how he really is on the inside. If you haven't checked it out, I highly recommend looking it up as soon as this video ends. When I'm done recording, I will be rereading it for probably the third time. It's just that good. Please check it out. Now, if you're a BL lover like me, you've probably heard of Therapy Game. But did you know that another Meguru Hinohara manga was available at Barnes & Noble? The Dragon's Betrothed is such a gorgeous manga. The summary reads, troubled writer Chiharu Izunome reluctantly returns to his rural hometown, hoping some R&R will refresh his creative juices. Instead of finding respite, he's quickly entangled by an old promise to wed a local god. Rin, the water god to whom Chiharu has been betrothed, can be disarmingly friendly and charming, but inside lurks an animalistic ferocity. Can Chiharu escape Rin's protective embrace, or is his fate already written? I say this a lot, but this story is seriously gorgeous, and to have Meguru Hinohara's art tell this story, you can't ask for anything better than this. The MC is quite stubborn, but the love interest Rin is persistent, and reading it, you can't help but sympathize with them both. It made me cry all night long when I read it, and I have not been the same ever since. 10,000 out of 10, it will make you cry real tears. It is that beautiful. And of course, Therapy Game and Secret XXX are great too, so I just recommend buying all of them. Another BL manga I'm not sure you've heard of is called The Cat Proposed. It's a sweet story by Dento Hayane, another great mangaka who draws beautiful art. The summary reads, Matoi Sota is an overworked office worker, tired of his life. Then, on his way home from a long day of work one day, he decides to watch a traditional Japanese play. But something strange happens. He could have sworn he saw one of the actors as cat ears. It turns out that the man is actually a bakeneko, a shape-shifting cat from Japanese folklore. And then, the cat speaks. From now on, you will be my mate. Yet again, a very sweet story of two people coming together and actually saving each other's lives. The folklore that is incorporated into everyday life in such a subtle way gives the story a sense of whimsy and charm, which is what separates it from other manga that include supernatural elements at an extreme level. It's such a great read, and I recommend it if anyone is looking for a standalone manga to read on a cozy night. I have so many other manga I want to tell you about, but we'll finish the video off with a manga that you have most likely heard of, and that is Cherry Magic. I want to include this for the people who have been hesitant to try it, because I do think it's something you should really check out. The summary reads, Adachi, our 30-year-old version, discovers he has the magical power to read the minds of the people he touches. Unfortunately, the ability just makes him miserable since he doesn't know how to use it well. And to make matters worse, when he accidentally reads the mind of his very competent, handsome colleague, Adachi discovers the guy has a raging crush on none other than Adachi himself. Things are about to get very awkward.
There's a great live action adaptation, an upcoming anime, and even more volumes in the works, so I recommend jumping onto this story as early as you can. I began reading this back when the live action was just being announced, so I've been with these characters for a while, and let me tell you, they go through such a transformation as the story progresses. You think you know them in the first volume, but the story goes in such wild directions that even though you know the plot, you really don't know where it's going to go. In later volumes, admittedly, I am biased towards how sweet and tender their moments become, even more so than earlier volumes. It really gives the feeling of watching two young lovers blossom into something like newlyweds. There's that feeling you get, a sort of happiness you feel just looking at them. There's also lots of comedy in this manga, so if you enjoy rom-coms, this one is very good. And that's the end of the list for this video. But the other manga I wanted to mention the next one are Ganbare Nakamura-kun, Therapy Game, Candy Colored Paradox, Sasuke and Miyano, Hiranu and Kagiura, I Didn't Mean to Fall in Love, Seaside Stranger, Hyperventilation, and I Hear the Sunspot. And if you're interested in purchasing these manga in Japanese, I usually buy them on Amazon Japan, even the Dear Plus magazines. I was also thinking of making a video on the manga that I buy at Kinokuniya, but for now, thank you for watching, and if you want to see a part 2, please like, subscribe, and comment. I love talking with you all, so go ahead and tell me your favorite BL manga ever, and also what kind of content you'd like to see here on this channel. I love K-pop, especially 80s, as well as J-pop like Idolish 7, and also gaming. I hope this video was informative, so I'll leave it off at that. Thank you all, and bye-bye.